first, we're going to set the temperature to bake at a temperature of 350. That's what we cook everything we do on, usually, whether it's the stuffed pork chops, stuffed chicken breast, stuffed steak pockets. It's just a good heat, pretty even, low or temperature heat to kind of slow roast this stuff and make it come out really nice and tender. We're going to let that heat up, and then we'll stick the chops in. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you a quick little tutorial on how we stack these in the pan. Typically what you see is you have your chop, you got your flat, backbone here where they split it down the middle, eye of the loin, your pocket, which is cut in here, and your rib bone. What we all usually suggest people do is that we stand them on this bone right here. So we put them in and stand them up in this manner so that they will, tend to kind of stand up straight. Sometimes the bones can be funny, and sometimes they can be a little, cantankerous in terms of standing up, but most times they're pretty good. So I have 4 of them, and I'm going to wedge them in here, as best I can to try and get them to stand up. Now we do have a tiny little trick. I don't have quite enough foil here with me to do it because I didn't really plan on doing it. I happen to be out of foil, but you can wedge them in here any way you can. They're all going to bake the same. Really doesn't matter if they look good or not in terms of how they're put in the pan. But the little trick I was going to show you, and this works better if you have a smaller pan or if you have 3 in this pan, and this is the only size you have. You can stand them to the outside, and if you have a ball of foil, I crumpled this up and I try to loosely ball it. Like I said, I don't have enough here. You see it tipping over, and if you let them lay on their side like that, they're not going to cook any less different. The bottom might get a little too brown, seeing that the heat is going to hit the bottom of the pan exactly, and it might end up, I don't want to say burning it, but it will dry it out. And the other issue that you have is that the filling will wind up squishing out and all over the bottom of the pan, which people still eat it, but I mean the principle of having a stuffed pork chop is to have it stuffed. So what you can do is you can take this, whether you have 2 or you have 3 or a smaller pan or whatever you do, you take this ball of foil, which this is, like I said, this is too small, and you loosely ball it and you shove it in between them, and basically what will happen then, it'll keep them from tipping to the outside, but it'll also keep them from tipping to the inside, and then they'll stand up nice and straight, and they'll bake fine for you. But in my case, I have all 4 of them. I'm just gonna stick them in the oven here, stand them all up, get them all nice and straight, pop the lid on. I don't salt and pepper them usually. I know Dad usually suggests to do that. It's not something that we typically do. Here there's enough salt and pepper in the stuffing for us, but some people like to have that. I'm going to put them in the oven for about 2 hours and 15 minutes, and I'll check them to see if they're done. My oven cooks a little hotter than some other ones, especially if you're cooking with electric. Every oven varies, so we usually say 2.25 to 2.5 hours on 4 of them. Somewhere in that ballpark. It's always good to check them just to be sure. They should be falling off the bone by that point. For that many of them, on our website we have kind of a grid that shows you how many there you will cook in comparison to, or how long you'll cook them in comparison to how many you do have. So I'm going to pop them in 350, pull them out, and they should plate very well. They might, they'll blossom up, and in the last 15 minutes I might pull the lid off and brown them up. It just depends upon if I remember to do that or not, but that's always an option for you if you'd like to have them a little more of a presentable look, because with the lid on left on for the entire baking time, they will come out looking a little opaque, which is not going to take anything away from the flavor. It's just going to, if you're in for the plate look here, you might want to consider just popping the lid off and browning them up. We'll see you in about 2.5 hours. Sorry about the crazy noise in the background, but I got some crazy hungry people, little ones here in there. Yeah, see, they want their pork chops. So real quick, after 2 hours and 15 minutes, we pulled these bad boys out, and this is what we got. Standing up, fillings puffing out of the top. You'll see we got some down in there, but that's just natural because we do put a pretty good shot of stuffing in them. Plate them up, eat them. Hopefully this video is of use to you. And as always, keep an eye on our Max Market group, Max Market page, and our website, maxgridiron.com, for this stuff on sale. And this video tutorial is where it'll be posted after you guys see it here on Facebook. Have a good one, guys.